We gotta realize we have an enemy. Whether you are a Christian or not, you have an enemy that is attacking you on a daily basis. Why? Because he wants to kill you. The desire is to kill you, to steal from you, and to destroy you. And that's the reality. I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything here. I'm trying to be honest. There is a killer, a robber, and a destructor waiting to do that for you. And what does he do? He amplifies the lie that you believe.
This is the Legacy Maker Show.
Hey everybody, welcome once again to another episode of Legacy Makers Podcast, a place where we desire to see every man live a life with purpose, with faith, and truth. We desire that every man will begin to build a legacy that outlasts them beyond themselves. Today, I'm so excited to share with you something just really near to my heart, and I just want to be as raw and as transparent as I possibly can. Why? Because this is a desperation time. And if you're a guy, I believe that this episode is going to impact your life. If you lean in, if you open your heart and open your mind and really let this episode allow you to open your own heart and go places that you don't really want to go often. Because I believe there is freedom waiting for you and I as men. And if you like this episode once it's completed, please just share with somebody. I really firmly believe that people's lives can be changed. Sometimes you may not have the words to tell somebody else. You may not have the right things to say, but man, when you share something, hey, check this out. You are basically being a participant of what we're saying today. And you are actually being a tool to help somebody else find the freedom that they've been seeking for. So without further ado, today I'm riding solo, guys. Today is just me, and it's me as raw as I possibly be. It's me just being honest. It's me just being transparent. It's just me talking to you. And just wherever you are, I just want to talk to you guys. This is for men who are hanging on, man, barely holding things together. For any leader who carries the burden of everybody else, but nobody's there to carry their burden. For men who really are there presently physically, but they're emotionally gone. They are checked out as checked out can be. I know we all have been there. Maybe you are not suicidal. If you are, man, I'm going to encourage you to talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. Don't let these demons in your mind lead you into places that may not be a way out. So today, if you're not suicidal, but you're exhausted, you literally spiritual and emotionally drained. You're dry. There's nothing. You squeeze and there's nothing is going to come out. You're emotionally numb. You may be a high-functioning person in your job, in your business. You may be a CEO, a doctor, a lawyer. You're a high-functioning individual, but internally, you may be hurting. And in those moments when we feel all these things happening inside of us, the thing that we often do is that we run into isolation. We, as men, we withdraw from that in order for us to numb the pain or those feelings. But here's the truth. We don't have to stay stuck in that cycle, in that raw cycle of our mind. There is a true path of healing. You gotta believe me that, guys. There is a path of healing. And it starts with daily, intentionally renewing of your mind. Every single day, you can do just a little bit to begin to achieve the freedom in your mind, the freedom that you are seeking to have. Because many of us feel that we're chained, man. There's no way out. And you have to realize that in order for us to find the freedom that our hearts long for is on a daily, intentionally the renewing of our mind. Men have been taught that pain equals weakness. If you acknowledge you have pain, that means that you are weak. Instead of expressing that pain to someone, instead of just sharing the pain with somebody, sharing that struggle with somebody, what do? We hide it. We hide it. Instead of processing the stress, instead of just, let's process this, what I'm feeling, we suppress it. We don't cry to anybody. We don't want to appear weak. And we certainly don't want to show our brothers that we are, just scared. So what do? We scroll. We don't confess, we perform. because we think that if we perform on the highest level, that's gonna cure, that's gonna clear. And in reality, that continues to be that cycle that we find ourselves in. Whether it's a trauma that you're dealing with, that you have experienced, a trauma from your childhood. You may have father wounds. You have relationship traumas, anxiety, that you feel these anxious thoughts, an anxious spirit that is inside of you. You may be feeling depression or just burnout. You may be in a job that you've been there for a long, long time and you just feel burnout. You may be in dealing with stuff and you just burn out. You're like, I can't do this anymore. Most men have no safe outlet. Most men do not have a way that they can let all this out. So we decide that the best way that we're gonna cope, the cope mechanism, is we're gonna wear a mask. We're gonna mask ourselves so we don't show the world what is going on inside of us. So at work, we say, oh, I'm good, man, I'm just a little tired. At church, we're like, hey, man, I'm blessed, I'm highly favored, man. We're just a little bit, being busy. At home, hey, I'm just busy. I'm just have so much stuff going on in my head right now. And that's how we cope. There is a really powerful book that Craig Groeschel wrote called The Winning of Your Mind. And in that book, they say very, very, very powerful quote that he put there. Says, your life is always moving in the direction of your stronger thoughts. Your mind is always moving in the direction of your stronger thoughts. So if your thoughts are negative or that of helpless, that I can't change, I'm just, this is who I am, or it's never going to happen for me. I'm just never going to get out of this situation. I'm never going to get out of this situation that I'm in. Your life will follow that path because your thoughts, your life is always going to follow that direction where your stronger thoughts. And if your stronger thoughts are those of negativism, then that's what's going to be that you're going to create the path. And that's where your mind is going to go immediately when you feel, when things come at you, the way that you're going to deal with it, your coping mechanism is going to those paths of negative, anxiety, hopeless and helpless and things like that. Even if you are pretending to be otherwise, you're pretending to be happy, you're pretending to be in control, there is something that is just killing you from within. It's just destroying you from within. For example, let's say you get home and you're tired, but it's just not physical. It's just mentally, your emotional, your spiritual drain. And instead of decompressing with your wife or checking with your kids, you zoned out. I'm just gonna go watch sports. You go and grab the control, or even worse, you just go into your room or you go to the bathroom and you begin to scroll. You begin to go into websites that you should not be in, porn sites, and begin to medicate yourself, medicate your mind, and you begin to go into those dark places. You go to play video games or going to and submerge yourself into alcohol or drugs, or just simply just go to silence. You're present, you're there, you're in the vicinity, but you're unavailable. You're locked inside, and you go into this almost like this raw. And why? Because your thoughts, the paths of your thoughts are leading. Your life is moving to the strongest thoughts that you've been feeling. What are you feeling? What thoughts are you festering? What thoughts? My wife is not there for me, or my wife doesn't understand me, or my kids, or my coworkers, or the business is too hard, or nobody really cares. And then you begin to think of these thoughts, and instead of finding that secure and safe place, you go into those dark holes. And those places that we go to, guys, to medicate ourselves, lead us into even worse state, worse feeling. It's not like it cures us and we're like, oh, I feel happy. No, we feel worse. Because what the enemy loves, and we gotta realize we have an enemy. Whether you are a Christian or not, you have an enemy that is attacking you on a daily basis. Why? Because he wants to kill you. The desire is to kill you, to steal from you, and to destroy you. And that's the reality. I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything here. I'm trying to be honest. There is a killer, a robber, and a destructor waiting to do that for you. And the way that he does it, he's very, 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 comes on a very soothing way. What does he do? He amplifies the lie that you believe. Because you have to first believe a lie about yourself or your circumstances in order for the enemy to be able to fester into that. And the more that he begins to almost like bring that to your front deck, it causes you to go into this and amplify these lies that you are weak. I mean, you're just weak. Excuse me, guys. You're just weak. You're never gonna be able to beat this thing. You're just weak, dude. And we begin to believe this lie, right? Because he comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Isolation begins to amplify the lie. You're the only one that's dealing with this. You're the only one that really understands, because nobody's dealing with this. So no, if you go with somebody, they're not going to understand because you're the only one that is dealing with this. See, he's amplifying the lie. He's making that lie to be big. That's what isolation does. That's why the enemy comes in that room of isolation. No one would understand. If you go to someone, they're going to judge you. Oh my goodness, they're going to judge you. They're going to point fingers at you. They're not going to understand. They will never understand because this is only you. You will never, ever change. You've tried it, man. Look at this. Remember when you did this, you done that, done that. And so these lies mixed with a little bit of truth, they begin to get amplified. So what do we do? We escape into that dark room. We don't escape into freedom. We escape into the dark room. We just escape into that addiction that numbs us, that makes us feel better. Because here's the reality, guys. What numbs you today, whatever you do that numbs you, so you have to escape from that depressing feeling or these mentally exhausting feelings. What numbs you, whatever you do that numbs you, is gonna own you tomorrow. So whatever numbs you today is going to own you tomorrow. Instead of experiencing freedom, you're going to feel more chained. Instead of connecting with your spouse, with your kids, with your friends, you're going to feel more alone and more alone and more alone until you truly believe that your wife doesn't even love you. Instead of experiencing the healing that you can experience, you're gonna feel more broken. I want to give you some stats that are just gonna blow your brain. Over 6 million men in the U.S., over 6 million men suffer from depression each year. You may be dealing with depression, and you're trying to medicate yourself by isolating and believing lies about yourself and numbing by doing those things that are little by little killing you. Men are 4 times more likely to commit suicide than women. That's crazy. 4 times more likely to commit suicide than women. And yet, you know what the sad thing is? That most men would never, ever ask for help. They would never go to a friend of theirs and be open and be honest and be transparent. They're not going to do it. Why? Because we believe that isolation is the best way to medicate ourselves. In reality, all you're doing is numbing yourself and killing yourself little by little by little. Because we confuse the silence equals strength. We want people to see us as a strong people. And the way that we believe that we can achieve that is by going into the isolation. Be silent. Because we don't want to appear weak. So we want to appear strong. And so we confuse the isolation. The silence is going to make us strong. But silence, in reality, silence is killing you and I. When you are silent, there are particles in your life that are being killed, are being destroyed little by little by little. They're destroying your emotions. They're destroying your desire to be with your spouse. You're going into this isolation room and you're going into this porn addiction, and little by little, this thing begins to kill you without you knowing. It's destroying you. It's kind of allowing this termite go into your house, and you see it, and they begin to eat that wood in your house, and you're allowing it to happen. That's what we do when we go into isolation. The Bible has an incredible wisdom for us, and there is a book called Romans. There was a letter that was written by Paul to the Roman people. to those people who were dealing with all sorts of idolater spirit of we can do it, this powerhouse was the Romans. And in verse 12, 2 says, do not be conformed to the patterns of this world. Don't conform yourself to the patterns that you see in this world. Don't be participant. Don't conform yourself. This is the patterns of the world. So that's the world says, hey, just a little bit. Hey, just get a drink. Just get a drug. Just go into your room. You're not hurting anybody. You're not hurting your spouse. You just go watch some porn. And that's the patterns of this world. But he said, be then transformed by the renewing of your mind. Transform your life. Do you want to transform your life into a winning life, into a life of abundant joy, to abundant peace? You want to transform your life into you feel this exuberant amount of clarity? You have to renew your mind daily. You have to renew your mind daily. So you want to be transformed? You cannot experience this transformation with our circumstances. We don't want to say, well, I want to transform if this thing is different, if that thing is different, if I get this job, if I get this, or my wife acts this way, or my kids are this way, or my finances. No, starts with your thoughts. You want to renew, transform your life. You're tired of the life that you've been living. You gotta transform your life, and it starts with the thoughts. And in your thoughts, my brother, is where the war that you're fighting is won or lost. What are the thoughts that are winning in your life today? You are unable to defeat what you cannot define. You can't defeat what you cannot define. So how can you define your thoughts? How can you define you cannot defeat it until you identify it. So you define it. So what we have to do, we have to name the lie. We have to recognize the lies that we believe as truth. We have to identify those lies and replace them with truth. We gotta identify those lies that we have learned to believe, and then we have to replace them with the truth. And that's a daily workout of our mind, right? So for instance, and if this resonates with you, I'm just asking you to just soften your heart, guys. Soften to your heart. As I'm talking to you, just soften your heart. Man, this may be one of the greatest things that you can do for yourself. The lie, you will never change. You will never, ever change. That's a lie. That's a lie. You have come to believe that lie. But we're going to replace it with the truth. That he who began that good work in me, he is going to finish. You can't change yourself. You have to renew your mind, and you have to give control of your life to one that can do something about it. So God, who began that good work in you and I, is going to complete it. He's going to be the one finish it. The lie that you believe is that no one cares. No one gives a flip about you. That's a lie that you have learned to believe. Because the truth is that God is near to the brokenhearted. God is next to you. He's placing the right people. You just need to open your eyes. Open your eyes to see the people that He's putting around you. The lie is that I'm too far gone. You don't understand, Roger. You don't understand how far gone I am. You don't understand the stuff that I've done. I'm just want to remind you this important and most powerful verses. Where sin abounds, where there's a lot of sin, grace abounds even more. You're not too far gone. You're not too far gone. You're not surprising God. You're not like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you did that. You're not surprising God. All God desires is for you to trust Him and believe that He is the one that is going to help you change this daily task. Because the process to freedom, the process of transforming your life is not an instant thing. It is a daily task. It is a discipline. It is something that you do daily. Almost like brushing your teeth. That's something that you do daily. You don't just do it, oh, okay, I forgot one day. Okay, you forgot one day, but you're not just going to leave. I just forgot yesterday, so I'm just not going to do it tomorrow. No. You forget one day, you're like, for whatever reason, you forget your toothbrush or you just, whatever, but you're going to do it again. You're not going to let the days and the weeks and the months pass by without you brushing your teeth just because you forgot. So it's a daily task that you have to learn to do. We're going to renew our mind. We're going to renew our mind. And I'm just going to give you 5 practical ways or disciplines that you can follow in order for you to renew your mind so you can break the cycle that you have find yourself in. Are you tired of being depressed? Are you tired of being anxious? Are you tired to feel that nobody cares, nobody understands? Are you tired to feel that your life has no meaning? Are you tired to feel this way? I'm telling you. These are some disciplines that you can follow by the renewing of your mind daily. Before Instagram, before Facebook, before the news, before anything, open the Word of God. One verse may have the power to reset your mind and your heart. Open the Word of God. It says, speak to me. The Word of God has wisdom for you. Has the power for you to see things completely different the way that you've been seeing them. Number 2, speak life. You speak life out loud. You gotta speak life. Say the truth, even when you don't feel it. Speak the truth. Whatever you feel that is a truth. I'm not a prisoner of fear. I have the mind of Christ. I am not a failure. I am a son of God. I am not an addict. I am a son. I am a priesthood. Whatever you have to believe, you have to speak the truth, not the lie that you have learned to believe. Number 3, confess. Break chains. Confess. You gotta talk to someone. You gotta talk to someone, a brother, to a pastor, to someone that you feel I can speak to. Because the enemy thrives in secret. The more that he takes you away and he puts you in a secret place, that's where he begins to deposit all these lies that you begin to believe in. God brings freedom to light. God brings freedom. So bring that to light. Talk to a brother. Let somebody know. Ask God to give you someone that you can trust, that you can put your trust in. And you begin to speak, and you're going to feel this renewing of your mind and walking away from the patterns of this world. You got to do mental repetitions. You gotta repetitions build muscles. You don't just start today, you do 4 repetitions, then all of a sudden you have this big old muscle. No. You have to keep doing that, renewing your mind daily. Even when you don't see a change, you're going to renew. If you don't fall again into stupid thing, you're going to renew your mind. You're going to speak the truth. And then you're going to find yourself that you're going to have this strong muscle in your brain that is going to allow you to have a strength when the temptation comes to fall into isolation, to fall into these patterns. You're going to find the strength in your mind to be able to overcome that. And then pray. Pray about everything. Write whatever you feel. Begin to pray and ask God to give you the strength. Ask God to give you the resolve to be able to walk in freedom. Experience freedom and ask God to give you the hunger for freedom. So when your mind is healed, what happens? Your legacy begins to shift. When your mind is healed, then your legacy that you're leaving behind begins to shift. You gotta heal your mind. The renewing of your mind is going to lead you to be a restored man, a transformed man, a new man, and a man that is going to lead completely different. A man that is going to lead with integrity. A man that is going to lead with clarity. A man that is going to lead with purpose. A man that is going to lead with strength, with resolve. A man that is going to lead. It's no longer going to be a man who is afraid to be found out. It's a man who has been forgiven, a man that has a purpose in their life. You then, once your mind begins to be renewed, you're going to begin to love your wife with more presence. You're going to begin to love your children with more patience. You're going to show up to work. You're going to show up to your business. You're going to show up to your church, to your community with confidence. That the confidence is not in you anymore. The confidence in that is the one who's helping. The God Almighty who is renewing, is helping you to cleanse your mind, create new pathways in your brain. So what you need to do this week, don't wait for somebody to come and all of a sudden it's like, an angel showed up and now I can, it's rescuing me. No, identify a lie, replace it with truth and tell someone. Identify the lie that you learned to believe, replace it with the truth, and then share it with somebody, one person, tell someone about the struggles, somebody you can trust in. One lie are you believing? One lie. That you're an addict? What can you replace it? What truth can you replace it? I'm not an addict. I am a blood-bought son, and I am a king. I am a priesthood. I am a son of the living God. Then I'm gonna go somebody say, man, I was dealing with, I've learned to believe this lie that I'm an addict because I've been doing this for so long that I believe that's who I am. But I just want to tell you, man, I've been dealing with this porn addiction or this alcohol addiction or this self-medication or this addiction that, and I've been dealing with it for so long. But I just want to tell you, if you can just help me, when you feel like I'm isolating from you or I'm not checking in with you, just call me out. Just let me, that's how you bring those things to life. Because you are not alone in this fight. There is someone that wants to fight alongside with you. There is someone that is being equipped to fight alongside with you. And I just want to finish with this. God has your back, and He's placed a strategic place people around you to strengthen you when you feel weak, to lift you up when you feel that you have fallen. And if that's you, I'm just going to encourage you today. Renew your mind. There is a daily task. Just like you go to the gym, just go to brush your teeth. This is a daily task. Let's strengthen our muscle. And if this episode spoke to you, I'm just going to ask you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a brother. Share it with somebody who may be struggling with this. You may not even know they're struggling with isolation, with depression, with anxiety, and they're dealing with all kinds of crap. Just tell them you're not alone. Legacy building begins on your mind. You really want to build a legacy? It starts in your mind. You got to believe that. You got to believe it. You got to believe what God has spoke about you. If you will win the war of your mind, you will win a war for the future. Not for your future only, but for your future of your children and your children's children. And for you to live a godly life. Thank you again so much for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for liking it. Thank you for commenting. If you need anything specific, you want to just shoot me a comment and say, hey, Roger, I'd like to talk to you a little deeper about this. I'd love to do that. But if not, please share with somebody. Somebody, please know this. Somebody's going to be benefit from this because they may be struggling with something. And you may be the only coin that they have to live a life of freedom that they've been longing to live. Thank you again. Have a blessed day.